Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. Today we will troubleshoot DTC P0335, which indicates a CKP Sensor No Signal issue in the Honda Accord manufactured between 2008 and 2012. This Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC, points to a problem with the Crankshaft Position, CKP sensor, which plays a crucial role in engine management by providing real-time information about the crankshaft's position to the Engine Control Unit, ECU. When the ECU receives no signal from the CKP sensor, it cannot accurately control ignition timing and fuel injection, leading to engine performance issues. It's crucial to address this problem promptly to avoid potential engine inefficiencies or damage. We will follow a systematic troubleshooting process to identify the root cause and rectify the issue. Now, let's delve into a detailed error description that highlights the affected components involved with this DTC. The Crankshaft Position CKP sensor is a vital component in the Honda Accord's engine management system. It is typically located near the crankshaft and accurately detects the position and rotational speed of the crankshaft. This information is essential for the Engine Control Module, ECM, or Powertrain Control Module, PCM, to calculate the optimal timing for fuel injection and ignition. A faulty CKP sensor or issues with its wiring can send incorrect signals or no signal at all, resulting in DTC P0335. Properly functioning sensors ensure the engine runs smoothly, while a malfunction can lead to several concerns, such as stalling, hard starting, or poor acceleration. Now that we have a grip on what the error entails, let's look at the potential causes behind this DTC P0335. Several issues can contribute to the occurrence of DTC P0335. First and foremost, the CKP sensor itself may be defective or malfunctioning, which is a common cause of this error. Second, there could be broken or frayed wiring between the sensor and the ECM, interrupting the signal transmission. It's also critical to consider loose connections or poor contacts at the CKP sensor connector or within the ECM. Each of these conditions can hinder the communication between the CKP sensor and the engine control unit, leading to a no-signal error. These potential causes highlight the importance of conducting a thorough inspection of associated components to diagnose and rectify the underlying issue effectively. Let's proceed to examine the symptoms associated with DTC P0335. The symptoms associated with DTC P0335 can significantly impact vehicle performance. One common sign is engine stalling, particularly during acceleration or when idling. This occurs because the engine control unit cannot accurately determine the crankshaft position, leading to improper timing for fuel injection and spark. Additionally, poor acceleration may manifest due to the lack of optimal engine timing, preventing the car from responding effectively to throttle inputs. Drivers may also experience difficulty starting the engine, as the lack of a CKP signal hinders the ECU from properly controlling the starting sequence. Recognizing these symptoms is pivotal to prompt diagnosis and repair, preventing further damage. Let's dive into the troubleshooting procedures that we need to follow now. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0335 involves ensuring that the vehicle's ignition switch is in the on/to position. While doing this, it's also vital to record all available freeze frame data and any onboard snapshots. This data provides context about vehicle performance, environmental conditions, and other variables at the time the DTC was triggered. Reviewing the general troubleshooting information will also guide our diagnostic process and help identify the necessary tools and procedures needed in subsequent steps. This initial phase lays the groundwork for effective troubleshooting, ensuring all factors are considered right from the start. With the ignition on, Let's proceed to the next step. In step 2 of the troubleshooting process, we utilize the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear the DTC. Following the deletion, the engine should be started to see if the DTC reappears. This step serves to reset any temporary faults and gives us a fresh start for diagnosis. Once the engine is running, we check for any pending or confirmed DTCs again using the HDS. If DTC P0335 is still present, it necessitates further investigation. If the DTC does not return, it may indicate an intermittent issue, in which case inspecting for poor connections or loose terminals at both the CKP sensor and the ECM is imperative. This thorough approach ensures we are identifying persistent issues rather than transient faults. Let's examine what to do next if the DTC persists. During troubleshooting step 3, the core task is to determine whether DTC P0335 is indicated. After clearing the fault codes and running the engine, if the code shows up as confirmed, we proceed to step 5, to implement further diagnostics on the CKP sensor system. However, if the DTC does not indicate, this may suggest an intermittent failure. In such cases, we must carefully check for poor connections or loose terminals at both the CKP sensor and the engine control module, ECM. Addressing any issues found here is vital, as it could potentially resolve the problem without needing to examine the CKP sensor further. Maintaining focus on both persistent and intermittent issues is key to effective troubleshooting. Now, let's disconnect the CKP sensor to continue our diagnosis. In this 4th step, we start by turning the ignition switch to the lock 0 position. This is an essential safety measure before disconnecting any electrical components. Once the ignition is off, we carefully disconnect the CKP sensor's 3P connector. This will allow us to isolate the CKP sensor from the electrical circuit and facilitate the next electrical test. After disconnection, we turn the ignition to on 2 once again, preparing to measure the voltage readings, which will provide insight into whether the CKP sensor is receiving the necessary power supply from the vehicle's electrical system. Ensuring the ignition is correctly configured for testing is fundamental for the accuracy of subsequent readings. Let's move to the next step to check for voltage supply. In step 5, we will measure the voltage between CKP sensor 3P connector terminal number 3 and body ground. This test is vital as it verifies whether the sensor is receiving battery voltage. An appropriate reading indicates that the CKP sensor is being powered correctly. If we observe battery voltage at terminal number 3, we can confidently proceed to step 9 for further diagnostics. However, if there is no voltage detected, this points to an open circuit in the wiring between the CKP sensor and the PGM-FI main relay 1. Identifying these circuits accurately is crucial for troubleshooting the CKP sensor operational issues and ensures that we can isolate the problem effectively. Let's proceed to measure the next terminal. In the final troubleshooting step, we will measure the voltage at the CKP sensor 3P connector terminal number 1 relative to the body ground. This measurement is crucial because we are verifying the voltage output specific to the sensor's performance. The expected reading is approximately 5 volts. If this voltage is present, it confirms that the CKP sensor operates correctly, allowing us to address any other issues that may trigger the DTC P0335. However, if the voltage is outside of this parameter, we will have to explore further diagnostics to identify and rectify the underlying problems affecting the CKP sensor's performance. Each measurement offers precise insights that direct us toward effective troubleshooting. Now, let's finalize our procedures with repair verification. After performing the necessary repairs, our next step involves conducting a final verification of the results. Using the HDS, we will recheck for any DTCs to ensure that DTC P0335 does not reappear. Additionally, it's essential to verify that the CKP sensor is functioning correctly by monitoring its readings during operation. This verification not only confirms that the issue has been resolved, but also checks for any other potential error codes that might have emerged during testing. Ensuring that no new errors have arisen is vital in establishing the reliability of the repair work conducted. By documenting these results, we can be confident that the troubleshooting process has effectively addressed the issue at hand. Finally, let's discuss preventive maintenance to avoid future occurrences. To prevent the recurrence of DTC P0335, establishing a routine preventive maintenance plan is essential. Regular inspections of the CKP sensor and its wiring harness will help identify any potential issues before they lead to failures. It's also recommended to clean the electrical connections routinely to prevent corrosion and ensure reliable signal transmission. Monitoring the sensor's performance as part of regular vehicle diagnostics can catch any deviations early, allowing for timely repairs. Implementing these suggestions provides peace of mind and contributes to the overall health of the vehicle's engine management system. Following these preventive measures not only enhances the longevity of your vehicle's components, but can also improve fuel efficiency and performance. Lastly, let's summarize the key points we've covered in this troubleshooting guide. In conclusion, we have thoroughly explored DTC P0335, understanding the critical role of the CKP sensor in maintaining engine efficiency and timing. We followed systematic troubleshooting steps to accurately diagnose the issue, from checking voltage levels to inspecting wiring and connections. Our journey emphasized identifying the various symptoms indicating CKP sensor faults while addressing possible causes ranging from component failure to wiring issues. Implementing preventive maintenance steps further ensures these types of failures are minimized in the future. By adhering to this structured approach, we can ensure effective diagnosis and repairs, ultimately leading to reliable vehicle performance. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this guide assists you in managing DTC P0335 effectively. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.